Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's me again, Jen. Hello! And it is Wednesday. We are in the middle of the week. We are in the middle of July. It is July 15th. So, middle of the month, middle of the week, lots of middles happening today. So, while we are in the middle of learning the Steampunk Tarot from Barbara Moore and Ali Fell, I've been having a lot of fun with this deck, and I hope you have too. If you are interested in more information on it, please check out the description below and leave comments. And always remember to like, share, subscribe. I do lots of weird stuff on here. I'm mostly like just wasting time now that we are all kind of way more confined than usual. So, without further ado, let's see what we have today. Oh, well, it was bound to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Tower. The Tower is both one of my favorite and least favorite cards. It is intense, it is interesting, it is a mess, it is chaos. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the good and the bad of the Tower, because I do not believe that all cards are all bad. This one just mostly. Alright, so first I'm going to kind of break down that the Tower card is one of the major arcana. It is number 16. Making sure, yes, it is number 16 in this deck as well. There's a couple of cards that are interesting in certain decks. They are not the same numbers, so I'm just making sure. So number 16 in the major arcana, it is a card of a lot of chaos, as you can see here. This one, it's kind of interesting because it's got a tree that the city is sort of built into, or the tower is built into. And it is, of course, exploding. There are a lot of things falling off of it. There is chaos and destruction and fire and all kinds of bad things happening. It looks like lightning is striking it up here. I thought this was like a dragon's wings, but when I turned it around to look at it again, it looks more like just kind of an architectural thing. So I thought like a dragon was attacking it. This is like full Sim City. I'm totally dating myself at this point. Sim City, when you unleash the chaos onto your city because you're like, I just am bored and I want bad things to happen to my city. That's this. So I guess maybe I'll stick with the Sim City reference just for a moment, in that part of the reason we unleash the chaos on Sim City is because, one, we're bored, and two, we want to fix some of the things that we did because they are not so good and they are not beneficial anymore to our little city that we are building. That is what the Tower is. Yes, it is chaos. Yes, it is destruction. Batten down the hatches, buckle your seatbelts. Trouble is coming. Trouble is upon you. It's a mess. It's not a good thing. When this card shows up in a reading, I'm like, let's hope we don't end on this card. I will say, when I do readings and I end on this card, I always tend to draw like 2 or 3 extra cards to kind of get us past this, because I don't want to leave people with, oh my gosh, it's chaos and it's awful and your life is falling apart and it's an absolute, excuse my French, shit show. That is what the Tower tarot card represents. The other side of it is that, much like any other of the more negative cards in the deck, it has a lesson. I really like the way it's represented in this deck, because the greenery part, the tree part, is going to have deep roots. It's going to survive this lightning strike. It is nature. It is life itself. It's going to survive. It's going to grow. It's going to continue. It's a big old tree. It's big enough to support a city. I think it can handle a little lightning strike and some fire. It's probably going to be fine. That's kind of what you in this story is. You are the tree. Yes, this amazing thing that you built is probably going to get knocked down a couple pegs, if not wiped out completely, but you will survive. You will thrive. And maybe to some degree you were overburdened by all the architectural stuff, all the extra things that were happening in life. So it's sort of this card of shaking off the things that are unnecessary, the things that may have been causing harm, the things that are too much of a burden to bear. They are the things that were not necessarily healthy for you. It may seem like you built this beautiful castle, this dream of an idea, and here now it's coming crashing down. This card can show up in relationship readings when a divorce or a breakup is kind of necessary. When you look back on it and go, yeah, that relationship was pretty toxic. That was pretty bad. We were not doing each other good. We couldn't help each other grow anymore. It's time to let it go. It can show up in jobs and career where you think you have built this amazing job, this amazing business even, but really it's sucking the life out of you, and you're spending more time fixing it and trying to get it going than you should be spending on living and being with family and being with friends and having that kind of situation. This can come up when kind of spiritually we're searching for something that is not right for us. So some people feel like they need to go to the dogma of a religion for support. And it doesn't always work that way. And I'm not picking on any one religion because we all know that they all can get like this. You can be in a church or a circle or a coven or anything, and they have just gotten to the point where it's nasty and nobody's nice and nobody's helping each other, and it's just a bad thing. So that's, you're not talking about your spiritual self anymore. You're talking about just belonging to a group of people that are not healthy for one another. So your spirituality is suffering for it. Your spirit, your soul is suffering for it. So it's time to knock that off and go for something new. The Tower isn't easy though. It's a big change like the Wheel of Fortune or even the Devil, those kinds of cards. It's big changes, and it's big chaotic kind of nasty changes, and you may look back on your adventures during the time period of the Tower and go, I don't like who I was. I like who I am now, but I don't like who I was. And it's okay. We all go through that. That's how we grow. Sometimes you need a little bit of a catalyst, fire and brimstone it may be, explosions and lightning and thunder and complete chaos you might need to shake you out of where you are and grow into something better. I think it's really important to know that the Tower is a wake-up call more than anything else. It should not be a victim card. It should not be, you draw this card and go, oh, woe is me, my life is hard. You should go, okay, what do I got to do? What work do I have? Because this is work, and we all got to do the work. Well, that's a lovely card to have in the middle of the week. But I do hope that maybe the rest of the week leads us into something better. We've had an interesting draw of cards this week. I will say that. It's getting kind of fun pulling some of these cards. I feel like we're getting kind of a message going, a groove going. If you are interested in having a reading with the Steampunk Tarot or any cards that I do have in my weird collection, please check out the link in the description below and make an appointment. Check it out. I do everything through PayPal. I do everything through Zoom. So it's a lot of fun with all this technology going on. And speaking of technology, if you haven't already checked out the latest book that I have called Cloud to Cloud that I wrote with Bob Frank, it is available on Amazon in ebook as well as print books. And I do have some available in my online store in my website if you want a signed copy, because I can't sign the ones that come from Amazon. It's just a little difficult. But either way, that talks a lot about technology and the metaphysical and how they work together. So all the weird stuff that I do on here, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a big kick out of it. I hope it breaks up the mundane parts of your day. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay cool, because it's so hot out there in the world right now. And have a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow. Bye!